anyone who decides on cosmetic surgery hopes for a stunning new look. But several women in the Omaha area say their operations left them scarred and in some cases disfigured. They're now suing the doctor. Senior reporter Jake Wazakowski broke this story in August and today talked with several of the women. Jake?
Well, Jennifer, initially there was 7 lawsuits filed against Omaha Dr. Gerard Stanley. That number has since climbed to more than 14. Women want others not to allow this doctor to operate on them.
I feel like I'm just damaged forever, like I was better off how I was before.
I haven't cared a date, don't have a boyfriend. I mean, it's just too embarrassing.
It's painful, my boobs hurt, the scarring is horrible.
These 5 women who say they've never met before all have something in common. They claim their cosmetic surgeries were botched by Dr. Gerard Stanley Jr. of Sculpt Cosmetic Surgery.
I wasn't looking for perfection. But it's depressing what I was left with. And
my boyfriend used to criticize my body, and he was cheating on me with a girl that, you know, had curves. And he made my self-esteem go down, and he made me feel ugly.
So lately, y'all been coming for me in the comments, talking about my chin is too pointy. All y'all been calling me crimson chin and all type of shit. So let me tell you guys the story behind my chin. So basically, I went to the UK and got fillers because I didn't have a chin. Period. I'm going to get my shit fixed today.
Fat transfer, and same thing with you. I didn't have enough fat. So I literally had a flat stomach, but I felt like I had the same size butt. So I went and I got shots and then almost died. That's what they said, it's not that good. I literally, this year I almost died. I got sick. It started like rejecting from my skin. It was the worst experience of my life, and I literally had my doctor save me. He's in Colombia. I was in pain. It was red. It was warm. It was hard, and I had to get it removed. Like, I was sick.
South Bay plastic surgeon is now facing a new murder charge. This comes after one of his patients died in 2018 after a breast implant surgery.
December 2018, 36-year-old Megan Espinosa had a breast augmentation surgery. Prosecutors say the mother of 2 went into cardiac arrest during the operation at Divino Plastic Surgery in Bonita. Chacon is accused of delaying emergency services for about 3 hours.
He is expected to be out on bail on a $500,000 bail.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me here, Comrade Lavender here, and today I'm back with another anti-capitalism, true crime, deep dive YouTube video topic, and today I want to do the topic of pure evil, the plastic surgery cosmetic industry files, part 2, deep dive, capitalism, human trafficking, recovery houses, plastic surgery gone wrong, people lying about plastic surgery, colorism, etc. So let's get started into this YouTube video topic. But before we get started, this is part 2 of Pure Evil, the plastic surgery cosmetic industry files. I already did a part 1. If you want to check that video out, it's going to be on the screen right now, and as well as all my other YouTube video topics that are related to this topic, related to plastic surgery or just related topic in general. If you want to check those videos out after you watch this one, they're going to be on the screen right now if you'd like to check my other YouTube videos out. So let's get started on this YouTube video topic.
Okay. So I got a BBL, I don't know, maybe like 3 years ago, and I got botched, and my ass looked like a Dorito. My ass was literally shaped like a Dorito. It went viral. I don't know if you guys seen it, but you could probably Google it. It literally looks like this. But so I got botched, tried to get it fixed. It did not work. I had to wait a whole year. I was like so depressed because I looked horrendous. Because you posted recently, like, don't get your body done. Yeah. Do you believe that, or do you regret getting your body done?
I mean, it's tricky for me because it's like, I like having my body done, but as much trauma that it has brought me, it really, like, it wasn't worth it. Yeah. No, it hasn't been worth it. It's just been so much, like, then I had to gain 20 pounds to
even do it.
To get another one to try to fix the Dorito booty.
Human traffickers increasingly take victims to outpatient health providers. Modern slavery, also called human trafficking, harms an estimated 21 million people around the globe. Victims include immigrants, young adults, and adolescents and children in the United States. They come from the suburbs as well as the cities and work in brothels, farms, factories, beauty parlors, factory farms, private homes, construction, restaurants, food trucks, etc., and other places. 68% of these victims might be hiding in plain sight. They visit ED centers, urgent care clinics, and see nurses, primary care doctors, gynecologists, plastic surgery offices, and other healthcare, practitioners and providers. Traffickers are skilled at evading the law and will select healthcare settings where they are less likely to be caught. Traffickers might even select a surgery center that is accustomed to treating out-of-state patients. For instance, when Jasmine Marinino was a teenager, she was manipulated into sex trafficking nightmare, sometimes beaten, always threatened, and for many years was unable to seek help. But she saw healthcare providers during this time, and mostly they didn't give notice and didn't notice anything unusual about her. At one point, her trafficker, also a young man, flew her to Florida from Massachusetts for breast implant surgery. My trafficker thought I would look better with the implants, Marno says. Marno's trafficker had been using the services of a surgeon whose cost was about half the price of local surgery centers, so the traffickers made Marcino schedule an appointment by phone. Then you have reality TV shows about plastic surgery like Botched, platforming extremely problematic alleged sex trafficker influencers.
Surgery was when I was about 19, 20 years old. Got lipo, you guys. Before I got my lipo, I was a little party animal. You know, Britannia Ocampo and this. I used to be throwing glasses at girls or whatever I had in my hand. I was wilding, doing hood rat things with my hood rat friends. But don't worry, I'm a classy millionaire now. I used to be standing in lines with my little booty and big gut. When I got my lipo, that's when my life changed for the better. People are confused with what I got put in my booty. They are butt implants. Let me stand and show you guys. So it moves a little bit, but not as much as, like, I've been trying to twerk. What are you doing? You notice everyone makes fun of me when I try to twerk? Yep, you guys be making fun of this booty because I can't shake it right. And I saw this older woman with this amazing booty, and I was like, what, who, how did she get this? The doctor said he did it, and I was like, count me in, I gotta get my butt too. And that's exactly what I did. But the recovery, you guys, was crazy. I couldn't even poop. I couldn't poop for like 2 weeks, and it's all paid off. I love my booty too. Have you been in jail? Baby, talk about it on your live. Ventura County Jail. Yeah, how do you know? How did you know? Of course, I have. And that's not a proud thing to say, but yeah, I have. Like, I pretty much grew up locked up, which is like a bad thing, but I don't know, I'm a hothead. I get mad. So if you don't go like my picture, I'm gonna go through this, actually I can't say it. I'm gonna go through this phone, find you, beat your ass. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm not kidding about being a hothead, but go like my picture for real.
Such as Britannia Verrazzi, a former VH1 Rock a Love bus with Bret Michaels reality TV star. And in some U.S. cases, the trafficking went beyond the domestic exploitation of a single partner and involved more complex operations with more than one victim. According to allegations posted in Reuters in an article in court records, a filing in August in a federal sex trafficking lawsuit alleged that Britannia Verrazzi, a 39-year-old former reality TV personality and porn star, manipulated and coerced financially desperate women into making porn for OnlyFans, and then stole most of the profits. Phoenix International, OnlyFans' British parent company, is also named as a defendant in the lawsuit and accused of having a business partnership with Britannia that facilitated her exploitation of the two women. One of the women was a Las Vegas showgirl when the COVID-19 pandemic struck and made her jobless, according to the suit. The other was an immigrant who had recently been kicked out of her adopted home as a teenager. Britannia allegedly groomed both of them, finding them places to stay at her rented properties, allegedly, and making extravagant promises of fast cash and ultimately wealth and fame if she would create OnlyFans content under her management, said the suit. One of the women looked to Britannia as a mother figure. The woman's OnlyFans account generated more than $1.3 million in revenue, of which OnlyFans took its customary 20% cut, said the suit. The rest was funneled into bank accounts controlled by Britannia, who paid the woman about 10% of their share and not the 50% share she had promised, the lawsuit said. Then you have alleged social media and TikTok influencers lying about getting BBLs and plastic surgery.
Scam likely. Tonight, we got Jaylene Ojeda. Now, some of you may know her as TikToker and day trader. And Miss claims to be natural. But is she really all she's cracked up to be? Let's start with, well, if you know anything about plastic surgery, you know it takes multiple rounds to achieve those kind of hip dips. That is because fat is naturally not there, so it falls out very easily after the surgery. And if you aren't convinced, I would hope before and after pictures do the trick. Now, this is the natural Jaylene we're talking about. Still not convinced? Well, thankfully, the surgery page on Instagram found this picture of her incision sites, or surgery scars, in simpler terms. That is where the cannulas go down to inject the fat into her booty. What's even better is this picture of her and Dr. Gavami, where she claims she only had a rhinoplasty. But if you ask me, her body looks like his work as well. Next, we got some poor Photoshop. Just compare her tummy from this photo to this one. There's quite clearly a difference. And the difference is the harsh lines depicted in the photo on her stomach. These strong lines come from high-definition lipo, which patients usually opt for when getting a BBL procedure. Here we can see bulges around her belly button. This is typically associated with plastic surgery in foreign countries, where they become more lazy or afraid around the belly button, therefore leaving fat pockets behind. And let's just scratch genetics off the list. She most certainly don't get it from her mama. Now I'm gonna talk over Jaylene here because we don't really need to hear what she has to say. What's more important is that she's been called out by YouTube Spencer for her scamming day trading tactics. He claims she doesn't really day trade and just uses her looks to get money from men, which I most certainly agree with. Jaylene is no day trader. Hopefully one day she'll be honest with her followers. It's a shame young women think that they could possibly achieve this body in the gym. They're left wondering why they're not getting the results because of influencers like her.
Jaylene Ojeda, she has been accused multiple times of lying about having plastic surgery on her body and getting a BBL. Remembering the Swan, the most controversial and offensive reality TV series, that show was The Swan. It had like 1 star out of 5. A reality TV show that somehow ran for 2 seasons in 2004 by undergoing a complete plastic surgery overhaul and where plastic surgeons made capitalism profits. As explained in the show's voiceover, a group of ordinary women hand over their lives to a team of cosmetic and plastic surgeons. They will be put through a brutal 3-month makeover, all for the chance to become beauty queens. Each week, 2 contestants will be transformed, but only will be judged beautiful enough to move on to the pageant. Presented by the Irish host Amanda Brydom, The Swan, so-called based on a fairy tale, The Ugly Duckling, choose a cast of the woman deemed to be unattractive and suffering from low self-esteem and give them extreme plastic surgery makeovers. Not only with just a box of hair dye and a makeup artist, but with specialty selected plastic surgeons. The doctors included Dr. Randall Hasworth and Dr. Terry Dubrow, who are both board certified by the American Board of Plastic Surgery. You'll recognize Dr. Dubrow from going on to star on E's Botched, showcasing his hypocrisy. He was on the show before his Botched reality TV show, doing the most for capitalism profits and doing all these surgeries to make bank. And now he's on Botched reality TV show, and now he advocates against extreme plastic surgery. The Swan surgeons and producers seem to only have one ideal of physical beauty, the stereotypical beauty queen Barbie look. Each of the contestants was transformed into a conveniently attractive woman with a plastic smile, wavy hair extensions, and usually a smaller waist size. Anything that made them unique was sliced away. Heartbreaking clips of each woman were shown on the show as they discussed their lack of self-esteem and self-worth, with Season 2 contestant Marsha Medelberg saying, "I felt completely unbearably disgusted with myself. My biggest fear is being alone. I give anything to not be invisible." Season 1's eventual winner, Rachel Love Fraser, cried as she said, When you're a person who doesn't have a great deal of self-esteem, sometimes you feel like, why do I bother? Each contestant was reviewed by the panel, including surgeons, a personal trainer, a cosmetic dentist, and therapist Dr. Lin, who attempted to get to the bottom of what was going on. Critics of the show noted that her PhD in clinical psychology came from online accreditation program. After Rachel's raw introduction video, the surgeons decide what she needed: an eye lift, liposuction, breast lift, nose job, lip enhancement, chin implants, eyebrow lift, and veneers, while a trainer prescribed a 1,200 calorie diet and 2 cardio sessions a day. Dr. Idy pledged to delve into the insecurity transferred to her by her husband and father, with Rachel's husband, Mike, saying in a VT, "She's a little average, but when she's happy, she's a very beautiful person." A writer for the show, Rebecca Hertz, later told Entertainment Weekly, in a pre-interview, "I led her husband to say Rachel looks average, but he thought she looked beautiful. I cut it down to him saying she looks average, so he sounded like a mean, horrible asshole. He was furious when he saw the show." Rachel and Mike later divorced, much like many of the other couples featured on this show, reality TV show. After the 3-month period in which they underwent grueling, intensive surgeries rendering them unrecognizable and emotional transportations, the women were debuted to the public and to the team to make a glamorous reveal, with the doctors and show hosts fawning over them as they entered a ballroom. Each woman, who had been banned from looking in a mirror for their journey, pulled back a curtain to look in the mirror for the first time to see their transformations from ugly ducklings to the swan. The woman usually reacted tearfully, commenting on how beautiful they were now that their entire appearance has been changed. The show was later canceled after 2 series, both of which aired the same year, but the first series pulled in 9.1 million viewers on average, pretty good for a show that universally is criticized by critics, although perhaps the phase of all publicity is good publicity came in at this instance. In her book, Reality Bites Back, Jennifer Ponzer called The Swan reality TV show the most sadistic reality TV series of the decade. While the show gained a resurgence of hatred and international attention in 2009 and 2010 when it aired for the first time on Channel 4, and this show has also been talked about in Vice's Dark Side of Reality TV documentary, Vice TV. The Swan on the show, many contestants of the show have spoken out against it, most notably Season 1 contestant Lori Ades, who was 34 when she went on the show and was given a tummy tuck, buttocks lift, inner thigh lift, dual facelift, upper lip, upper and lower eye lift, brow lift, rhinoplasty, breast augmentation, and a breast lift, the most procedures of any swan that's been on the show. In 2010, Lori, who had lost 150 pounds, herself in 1995, said she regained all the weight she lost in the aftermath of the show, and that she was depressed, bipolar, and suffering from body dysmorphia disorder, alleging that there was no aftercare from the show. She added, "I had the most surgeries of any swan in the history of the show, and it has all gone to absolute shit. I am a 300-pound mess of a person who's afraid to go on the outside." Swan coach Nellie Gotten was also an executive producer of the show. Her coaching style was judgmental, to say the least. She shamed women for the food they bought and ate and criticized them for complaining at the gym or not wearing their girdles. While she coached everything in a helpful tone, it was unpleasant to watch and potentially harmful to the contestants overall. Producers took advantage of vulnerable women who were then used as props to be molded to the particular taste of the doctors and coaches, and then contestants were sent home at the end of the 3 months and told they weren't worthy. Pure exploitation for TV ratings and entertainment. Almost all the contestants who participated in the Swan reality TV show are now divorced. According to a 2013 report from the New York Post, while the show itself is not completely responsible for the divorces, obviously, it's hard to imagine this is some sort of coincidence. Many of these women were clearly struggling with mental health issues and insecurities, and the show didn't address the underlying causes or issues that drove them to make these drastic changes.
Oh my God, looks fabulous.
It looks perfect.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You know, and why some black women are cutting their noses and getting rhinoplasties despite their face. For centuries, American society has pressured black women to conform to Eurocentric beauty standards. A tiger cannot change its stripes any more than a leopard can change its spots, and people know it's absurd to suggest either animal should. Yet black women are shown less consideration than a jungle cat. They regularly experience racial discrimination on a daily basis on their physical appearance, as if they're being graded against their proximity to whiteness. While some may view beauty standards as a frivolous matter and widespread rejection, many black women experience has personal and professional consequences. Some feel they must physically alter themselves to be lovable, hireable, or socially acceptable. Thus, some black women believe enduring an ethnic rhinoplasty and other, procedures can alleviate some of the discrimination that they would otherwise experience. One real-life example of this could be allegedly the Claremont twins from Bad Girls Club reality TV show on season 14 of Bad Girls Club, and Elise Donovan from Bad Girls Club reality TV show season 8 of the show. Elise has changed some of her features like her nose and voted for Donald Trump when she's Jamaican, which is a massive red flag. And the Claremont twins clearly have botched faces, got nose jobs, and changed their whole entire looks and bodies. And even their skin color looks lighter now.
A trip to South Florida for cosmetic surgery took a tragic turn. A young mother raising new questions about the risks of staying in so-called surgical recovery houses.
Local 10 investigative reporter Amy Viteri uncovered another unlicensed home and talked to a patient about what people need to know.
I had to live every day knowing I went somewhere with my friend and I didn't bring her back home.
Friends Janine Ellis and Rochelle Demosthenes were looking forward to their trip to Miami in August. The pair traveled to South Florida from New Jersey to get cosmetic surgery.
We both got done lipo 360 and a BBL.
Ellis says it was someone at the plastic surgery clinic who recommended the women stay at a recovery house called Glamorous Dolls following their procedure.
It says they had medical staff. They would have a nurse there for our first 24 hours of post-op care.
Local 10 recently highlighted concerns over unlicensed so-called surgical recovery homes operating in residential neighborhoods throughout South Florida. Advertised on social media, locations not disclosed.
The houses claim to offer everything from transportation, meals to post-op care, but none of these services are regulated and technically not legal.
Text messages sent to the women requested a $300 non-refundable payment for a 2-night stay, payable through Zelle or Cash App.
When they picked me up after my surgery, they put you in the back of a van and they just lay some like a tarp or something down, and you swooped off to this recovery house.
The women were taken to this home on Southwest 31st Avenue near 2nd Street. Demosthenes got there first after having surgery early that morning and called her friend in distress.
She just started screaming and she just was telling me that she was in so much pain. She said, I'm in so much pain, but they just gave me 2 pills.
The recovery house next door, unlicensed plastic surgery centers take root in suburban homes. Miami, ground zero in the United States for Brazilian butt lifts, aka the BBL. The mommy makeovers, breast enlargement, and other plastic surgery specialties has achieved another distinction. It is home to the cottage industry of illegally operating recovery centers for post-op patients who need to hunker down and heal, sometimes for days. Embedded in suburbia, the homes are engaged in a game of whack-a-mole with law enforcement and authorities who look for vans disgorging bruised and bandaged passengers, and featuring back alley garbage cans, brimming bandages with other biohazard medical waste. Often overcrowded and unsanitary, these unlicensed centers are costing Miami-Dade County millions, said Detective Gabriel Rodriguez, who is overseeing a string of recent busts. These include one earlier this month when police raided a home, and they said they found 21 women jammed into one-story, 4-bedroom dwelling. 17 of them were paying at least $250 per night as customers. 2 women were arrested. Recovery houses can count on a never-ending flow of potential customers, usually tourists, that are doing medical tourism from other states, drawn to South Florida by the area's vast array of office-based cosmetic plastic surgery centers. As with any home operation, even outpatient ones, patients can rendered fragile and in need of rest. They also may want to lose the just had surgery look before heading home. The outfits advertise openly online but conduct business frugally behind closed doors and covered windows in residential neighborhoods. The social media advertisements festooned with photos of smiling customers wanting surgically enhanced breasts and blooming buttocks provide phone numbers but not addresses. The ad suggests style luxury, including one which was a pixelated woman in a red dress. Reality, as represented in police photos, can be far different. Blood-stained pillows, bedside tables littered with bandages, sports drinks, pain relievers, and other grungy bathrooms, and beds wedged in side by side. Operators occupy 3 to 5 bedroom homes and charge hundreds or thousands of dollars per night. Attending staff can range from actual nurses to untrained, making them less than minimum wage. Don't expect this to end anytime soon. It's a lucrative market. Thanks to the seemingly unquenchable desire to look better, recovery houses do volume business, taking in as much as $3,000 per night. In the case of a 3-bedroom house, the consequences for getting caught can be trifling. First-time offenders are often placed on a diversion program that makes them eligible to have their conviction expunged. Busts can occur at recovery houses when suspicious activity becomes impossible to ignore. Suspicious activity can be cars or vans shuttling in, carpooling bandaged individuals at regular intervals. When Miami-Dade police, accompanied by the AHCA, busted a West Miami-Dade house run under the name Alpha Recovery Miami last December, 64-year-old woman named Almanrosa Davis functioned as if she was a licensed nurse, according to police, but she was not any of the such thing. Police say she had been administering injections of Lovenox, which helps prevent blood clotting. The elder Davis is now serving a 2-year probation sentence after pleading guilty to running an unlicensed ALF and practicing nursing without a license. This younger Davis, on probation until 2029 for stealing California nurse's identity to rent a Miami apartment, was arrested in Miami International Airport earlier this month when she arrived from Louisiana. One customer told police she paid Vanessa $2,500 via Cash App, but decided to spend her post-op time elsewhere upon seeing the unsanitary conditions at the house and the lack of a real nurse. And in February, Miami-Dade police caught Tracy Strader in a 4-bedroom, 3-bath rental home with 4 women in post-surgical care, 1 employee in garbage bins full of bed pads, adult diapers, and bandages, and medical absorbent pads saturated with human fecal matter and blood. According to the arrest report, her, 47, was charged with running an unlicensed ALF, a felony littering and hazardous biohazard waste violation, but with no prior record, she was routed into the diversion program. Police investigate the death of a woman at a recovery house for cosmetic surgery in Miami. Adam McQuee Miller, a 28-year-old mother from Las Vegas, passed away in a post-operative recovery house in Miami after undergoing plastic surgery at Avena Plastic Surgery. These young women had traveled with her young sister, Kiara Barnes, 19 years old, to have a cosmetic procedure that included liposuction and a Brazilian butt lift, a BBL. Both sisters documented their trip on social media before the procedure that took place on March 6th. The following day, on the night of March 7th, police and fire teams and emergency services responded to the house, known as Keela's Recovery House, in Miami, where they found her unresponsive, face down and on a bed. According to the victim's mother, her daughter and her sister had paid $1,500 for a 6-night stay at the house. She stated, according to Kiara's testimony, Amnequa was given a muscle relaxer and possibly multiple predicates before going to sleep, but she never woke up and passed away.
So I want to want to show you guys something. I had my implants removed in 2020. Yeah. And they've just been sitting. Look at that. That goes inside of a human body. Look at the mold. No wonder why women are having so many complications with these things.
Right now across the country, thousands of Australian women are worried sick. They're living with the terrible possibility that a toxic time bomb is ticking away inside their bodies. For the last 10 years, one of the largest manufacturers of breast implants has been involved in a monstrous fraud, filling its products with cheap industrial gels.
Plastic surgery is a sector of medicine that continues to show strong trends and growth. In 2011, women accounted for 90% of all procedures, with breast augmentation being the most common. There are estimated to be a total of 130,000 women in the UK who have recently received breast implants, and around 47,000 of those were silicone implants manufactured by the French-based company Poly Implant PIP, following the misuse by PIP of industrial-grade silicone. The Medicines of Healthcare Products Regulatory Authority, MHRA, began to receive reports of potential problems with PIP implants. In 2002, nearly a decade before the scandal broke out in March 2010, the implants were rupturing at a rate that was double the industry average. When compromised, the silicone gel was known to cause inflammation and possible scarring, and these implants continue to raise questions over the possibility of other harmful long-term effects. In total, they received 269 adverse incidents reports relating to PIP silicone implants between 2001 and 2009, including a case of premature rupture of both implants on the same patient. From 2003 onwards, it began to relay this information back to the French manufacturer. Following an inspection of the French-based company by national health authorities, a ban on PIP implants was announced in March 2010 due to concerns over the use of unapproved filler. While the French government subsequently recommended all women that have these implants have them removed as a precaution, the MHRA announced that there was no need for their routine removal. The Indonesian woman has died after visiting an unlicensed salon for breast augmentation procedure. Fueled by the allure of affordable cosmetic enhancements, medical tourism in Asia is experiencing a massive boom. Countries like South Korea, Thailand, and Singapore have become popular destinations for patients seeking domestic procedures. However, this rapid growth has cast a spotlight on the dark underbellies of this industry. A young woman, only identified as PK, 27 years old, sought out a breast implant procedure at Richo Salon and Bridal. The allure of achieving such a desired aesthetic quickly and at a reduced cost proved to be a fatal temptation. An agreement was made to inject 500 cc of silicone. This is a procedure that should be only undertaken by a qualified and licensed plastic surgery. With only 200 cc injected by an individual lacking the necessary experience, she suffered a sudden fatal convulsion and seizure. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the potential dangers associated with seeking unlicensed or unqualified practitioners. Botox fillers and other injectable procedures, as well as all other plastic surgeries, always carry a risk. However, Esther Zhang, the consequences were catastrophic for her. In the TikTok video, which has amassed over 4.2 million views, she explained that she received a collagen stimulant called Look Volume in South Korea. Immediately after the injection, she lost sight in one eye. According to her, the doctor repeated that it was just a temporary side effect from the amnesia. Her vision did not return. This led to her going to the ER, but she was told she couldn't get treated because of the timing of the beauty treatment. So Jong said she consulted ophthalmologists who confirmed that she had blockages in the branch artery of her eyes, and this resulted in dead tissue, and she lost her eyesight on one side completely and was referred to as dead pixels on a screen, as in when it came to her vision. Anything I focus on, whenever I move my eye, it's like completely erased. It's been so traumatic. It's been a nightmare experience, you know? And, livelihood is based off of what I see. She added that been in South Korea since early April trying various experimental treatments. However, none of them worked. One doctor told her the damage from the Juva look was permanent. She started trying to seek compensation for her injuries. This just fear won't be fair compensation. This will impact my career, my future, and there's just so much uncertainty. How I can live a fulfilling life after this incident, she said. It's been emotionally, mentally, and financially draining on me. Flash forward to 2025, and the scams get bolder when it comes to plastic surgery. Aldiva Del Silva, a Port St. Louis physician consultant, allegedly ran a surgery ring out of Cosmetic plastic surgery and anti-aging without even having a medical license. Del Silva and his staff, a team that included his wife, an unlicensed dentist turned office manager, performed BBLs, tummy-tucks, breast augmentation. Patients paid up to $22,000 for procedures that left them with rotting skin, lopsided eyebrows, and life-threatening infections. One victim's wounds were so severe, her surgeon almost passed out when she saw them. And a Chicago woman's family was awarded $66 million after the death from plastic surgery complications. And yeah, so the plastic surgery industry is, a dark industry, just like all the other capitalism industries. And there's other examples of botched plastic surgery cases. Think of the true crime case of Shashia Newby, a 31-year-old mother of three who passed away in 2012 after she got a silicone butt injections from O'Neill Ron Morris, a fake doctor who injected victims with cement, mineral oil, and tire repair foam. Morris, a transgendered woman who used the name Duchess, charged $2,000 a session and left Newby to pass away of fatal respiratory distress from massive, systematic silicone migration. A decade later, her family still grieves and is in pain. Putting Morris in jail won't bring her back.